What's up, everybody? We're back here on the Hunter Call of the Wild, or I guess not on Call of the Wild, but talking about some news for Call of the Wild. It's about 8 a.m. I just woke up, and I wake up, and we've got the variations revealed for the Great One Wild Boar. And there's going to be 9 different variations, so let's get into it. So as far as I can tell, it seems like they went for a little bit more realistic look on some of these, and then for others, they kind of went a little bit more crazy. One thing that I immediately noticed is that the tusks are different on every single one of these. That's pretty cool, man. So that's like one noticeable thing right off the bat, but obviously we got to talk about the 9 different variations as a whole. And the first one right here is called the stipple. I'm going to assume that's a typo because stipple is like a type of pattern that you very commonly see in like horses. And I mean, it's literally that pattern right there. So, or I guess not exactly that pattern, but very similar. Maybe it's like a play on words. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe stripple is what they were going for, but I got a feeling that that is probably a typo. But that is a very cool variation. Got that white and black patterning. And I do think, you know, that's a pretty common thing they go with a lot of great ones is the black and white. And I always think it looks good. I feel like every time they go with this type of color palette, it looks super nice. And then over on the other side, we got the second one. This one is called the brindle. So that's going to be the fabled brindle. I mean, obviously they're just showing the head for these two. It looks decent. Like that doesn't look too bad at all. I would have to see this in game in order to like really give an opinion because I just don't see enough from this image right here. But from what we can see, it doesn't look bad. It looks like it would be a decent one. Then we have C, that is the fabled scorch. That one looks really cool. That's like a war-torn, beaten up pig. It looks like, am I tripping or is there part of its fur like missing? That's another thing that is noticeable. It seems like the body shape, the fur, like that type of stuff is a little bit different on each of these pigs, which is really cool. After C, we got D, that is the fabled stitch. That one is interesting. I don't know how to feel about that one yet. That's one that's gonna have to grow on me probably. To me, that one looks a little bit odd, but obviously like this is just concept art. This isn't like in-game images, so it is going to take a bit to like get used to some of these. Actually, you know what? The closer I look at these, maybe these are in-game images because it almost looks like these were cut out and put on here. I don't know, man. Maybe this is like how they're actually going to look. Well, either way, the fabled stitch, I'm definitely gonna have to see that one in-game to really have a full opinion on it, but I'm not as big a fan of it as I am the other ones so far. Next up, we got E, that's the fabled ash. The fabled ash is a bit more natural looking. That's kind of like a silvery look. Very cool, very basic, but obviously there's always going to be a couple variations that are a little bit more grounded in reality. And I feel like that's one of them. Like, it looks good. It looks solid. I wouldn't be mad if I got one like that, but it definitely isn't as crazy as some of the others. And then we've got F, the fabled smolder. Not gonna lie, that one I actually really like. I think that one's got a really cool pattern. It's a little bit more subtle version of the stitch kind of. It's like a little more like toned down version of that. And I think it works a lot better. Then next up we got G, that is the fabled cinder. This is another one that's a little bit more like, I guess, grounded in reality. It's a bit more toned down, but still looks pretty decent. It's got a little bit of like silvery white near its head, and then the rest seems to be this like medium to dark gray. It definitely looks pretty cool, while also keeping that more toned down look at the same time. Then H is the butterscotch, the fabled butterscotch. That's an interesting one. I mean, obviously, like immediately the first thing that stands out is those freaking teeth. Those tusks are looking a little bit more aggressive on this one right here. And then obviously it's the brightest, like lightest colored great one variation for the pig. It's decent. It's a decent one. And then we got the last one. This one is called the fabled chalk. I mean, that one is kind of cool. It almost looks like an acromelanistic, except like a pig. But honestly, that's kind of cool. And I do like how the head on that one seems huge. I mean, just look at that thing's skull, man. That is absolutely crazy. That is a thick pig. That is a huge pig right there. Let me know down in the comments which one you think is going to be your favorite. Are there any particular ones you really like? Are there any ones that you don't like? Let me know. Honestly, out of the 9 different variations, I would say I like probably about 6 of them. And then the others, they're going to have to grow on me a little bit. But again, until we see these in-game, it's really going to be hard to judge because we don't know if the other side of them looks different. We don't know if it's just the angle that's making certain ones look bad or good. So obviously, we need to see some in-game screenshots and video footage of all of these before we make a full decision on which ones I like. And obviously, with tomorrow being the full release of the brand new map, the brand new update, we're going to be grinding for the Great One Wild Boar. So be sure to check that out. We'll likely be doing it pretty much all day, likely going to be streaming it pretty much all day. It's going to be a fun time. But if you guys haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel as well as leaving a comment down below and hitting that like button before you go. With that being said, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace!